Hello, esteemed viewers. My name is Jekyllstein Gray, and it's been a while. I just got back, got back about an hour ago from watching The Batman, and I have a lot of thoughts. I was originally going to do a much longer analysis thing, and I'm still planning on doing that, but okay, so the first half of this movie is incredibly okay. First and foremost, I'm not going to be spoiling anything major in this video. The next one I will be, but this one will just be kind of a an analysis kind of review thing, just kind of getting my basic thoughts out there. I actually don't have an outline in front of me. I'll do that for the next video because the next video will be much more. It'll probably be much longer, and I'll probably go into much more, specific depth and stuff. But right now, uh, you know, I've been going through some stuff, and there's a reason I haven't been uploading in a while, and but also I really want to chase the algorithm, and I have a lot to talk about with this movie. So all of that out of the way, mild spoilers, if you want to go into the movie completely blind, don't stop watching the video. Don't not stop watching. Don't do a double negative anyway. You know what I mean. Do what thou wilt. I guess I'll just say that. Okay, so I was really, really excited for this movie. I think my first Jekyllstein Gray Talks video I think was like mostly because I wanted to talk about the trailer of this movie. A lot of other movies I did too, but that was the main one I wanted to talk about. And trailers are not always what is going to they're not always representative of what a movie's going to actually be like, and I knew that going in. And I was like, yeah, I was actually really happy. It felt like, I could, I've seen the trailer too many times because I could pick out the lines and be like, hey, that wasn't exactly like it was in the trailer. I see what you did there. um and the beginning of this movie was like actually like really dark, like really, really dark in a way that, like on the one hand, yeah, it's Batman. Batman's a dark, superhero, but like, even the Christopher Nolan movies were not like they felt, how do I put this? It felt like the darkness was intruding rather than a fixture of life, especially in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Batman Begins kind of had its own thing, but that was really more just like everything kind of looked really like seedy, it's like a, Call of Duty Modern Warfare at a level at Gotham or something, and it was again, it's not like they're not dark, but like this movie, like the opening of this movie is just in like not just the opening, but like probably the majority of the movie's runtime. I'm not sure how long exactly, but like it just is really, really dark. It's so dark. I decided to record in the dark. That's the gimmick I'm going with for this. But like it, not just dark, not just because it's easy to do something that's like, it's easy to do teenage edgelord dark, like it's easy to just do that, but they give you a sense of like feeling. It feels not just it feels cynical, but again, like there's cheap cynicism, and then there's earned cynicism, and the beginning of this movie earns that cynicism. You get the like you get a sense of, yeah, and there's a lot of specific things I'll point out when I've organized my thoughts more in the next video. But like, there's a lot of specific things where that make you really like it's Batman. Like, okay, the Dark Knight trilogy has a lot. I haven't seen the Adam West TV show and movie, and I haven't seen the Michael Keaton movies or the 80s and 90s Batmans. So I'm mostly just going off of Christopher Nolan here. But the Christopher Nolan movies have this very like I never it's like there's like always like okay in Batman Begins there's a cop named Flash who's got his roots in the comics, and I think he's introduced in year one. I remember that's what I remember him from, at least Batman year one. And and they kind of use Flash as a shorthand for I think they're trying to use him as a shorthand for the corrupt Gotham police. But it kind of just feels like it's only Flash, and cops like him, and I don't think that's what it's like. Not like logically you're supposed to be like you're like, oh yeah, probably much more of the police force is corrupt and all that, but like it's not like in this movie they really hammer home the idea that this is a like you really feel like Jim Gordon is the only cop with an ounce of integrity in all of Gotham. Like there's like this like cloud of corruption that hangs over this entire beginning of the movie. That's like, I mean, it's not pleasant, but it's not, but it's engaging, and it's like thematically well done. Um, and there is also, again, this is mild vague spoilers, and this is like something you get about like literally in like the second scene, I guess, of the movie. um the like the cops legitimately don't like Batman, and it's weird because like they keep saying like, oh, he's a vigilante, and it's like, if a vigilante is working at the point where a vigilante is working with agents of the state, I'm pretty sure they're not a vigilante anymore. Um, yeah, so and they really give you like, I really like going into this. I was expecting to have a lot of sympathy for the Riddler and and his actions, even if they are incredibly barbaric. They kind of remind me a lot of what movies with Mikey talked about with like what with the Joker. Um, and I really liked, like it, but even still, they showed like, again, speaking in broad terms here, they showed like a lot of like a lot of just like ordinary people who are hurt by this, and obviously the fact that he's like murdering a bunch of corrupt, like the people who are spreading this corruption and benefiting from it. It like felt very political, and like felt like it kind of it was walking right up to the line of being radical, like straight up. Like, I mean, like obviously it was never going to actually be revolutionary because it's a big budget DC movie, but it felt like there's also very political, and the politics, like I'm getting to the place where it gets weird, but like it felt very like, in some ways it felt very like of our time. I wonder if we're gonna look back on it and be like, man, that is very much a reflection of the early 2020s, late 2010s, early 2020s, because like it is very cynical. It's very kind of disillusioned. It's like these criminals are better than politicians, and it's like everyone in power is scratching each other's backs, and people, and again, like you really really see this city's rot. It's like in a way that not it's not, and it's not just in aesthetics or writing, like in, again, like in Batman Begins, but it's like every it's not, well, okay, again, I would need to go into specifics, but there's so many little details that really give a sense of really give a sense of really, again, they really like, I keep saying it like this, and I don't know if it comes across, like if my point is, if it makes any sense, like, but like it really feels like you feel the corruption. It gives you it feels like what I imagine it would feel like to be an ordinary citizen living in Gotham, which is not fun. But kind of, I don't like, it felt like halfway through the movie. Like at first it was, like late early on, it's like there's like some weird stuff. Like they kind of forget about the Riddler. Oh man, I do actually really want to. I need to wait for the next video to go into specifics about the Riddler because I really like I really like how they did the Riddler, and this is the first time I really think they did the Riddler well. Gotham did it kind of well, but Gotham was more just like kind of brute forcing your way. It like kind of just brute forced their way into making him interesting, without changing his kind of uninteresting comic aspects. I don't know if that makes any sense either. This is most people are probably going to be like, yeah, this is a terrible video, and whatever. Um, but the yeah, so but like okay, so like halfway through the movie, it just no, it's not super, it's not completely abrupt. I did kind of see it shifting, but I was like, well, you can't have everything, it can't be all dark all the time. And I liked that it wasn't all dark all the time, but like tonally, it just completely shifts by the end. The the plot, gets like the Riddler kind of gets weird and doesn't make a lot of sense. Like in a way, he does something unconscionable, but also in a way that's not like it doesn't fit with the other, horrible things he does. Um, and like again, I'll get into specifics in the spoiler video, but it feels out of character. It has kind of got the Return of the King problem of like there's like five different endings. It's like there was one ending that I was literally like, okay, this is the setup. Get excited for the next, teasing the next movie ending, and it's like no, it keeps going. It keeps going on and on and on and on and on. Not literally. It's like a couple, probably like 10 more minutes after that. But it feels like again, it feels like there's a ton of different endings. And the ending they went with was like really like the last shot is like okay. Um so yeah, it and the tone shift is completely different thematically, like, and it's not that ending on a lighter tone would is necessarily a bad thing. It just does not earn it, and it doesn't set it up. It feels like I don't know. It kind of feels like Superman Red Sun, the movie. I haven't read the comic, but I'll have to get into more specific. That'll be for the next video in the series, and so yeah, it's just I like was actually like I had all this like there's all these little details I'm like looking back on in the first half, and I'm like, oh, that was really cool. And I initially wanted to like I just wanted to do an analysis, not a review. I don't really want it like the idea of doing reviews, but like the second half of the movie kind of just like made my head go like kind of just made me be like I don't even want to think about this a lot. It's like all my thoughts were just like okay, that was kind of weird. That was like it made me, I don't know, it made me want to talk about the movie less. It kind of, part of the problem is it keeps setting things up that I was thinking about and all this. And again, like there's a lot of like little interactions, and I don't even know how to describe it. Like you get a sense of the web of these systems. Like it feels like there's like Gotham has deep rooted systemic issues in addition to just a couple corrupt politicians and judges, and they do some surprising like some things I legitimately did not expect that were really cool. One of like there's a lot more issues of really mostly of gender, but there is race in there too. There's racial, elements of racial, the need for racial justice and things like that. Um, I'm definitely not going to get into it more than that. I think it seems like it does a good job. Well, okay. Again, gender is really the only. It's really more the issue is relevant to the characters is one more of gender than of race. Um, at least from my perspective. If any women or people of color happen to disagree, I would love to hear that in the comments. And yeah, so it does a lot of really cool stuff. And I will say this, the ending, it doesn't feel safe. Like at first, I'm want to be like, oh, it's Hollywood screenwriting. Some producer hack went in and was like, no, you need to change the ending. It needs to be more happy. But the more I think about it, the more it's like, no, it's certainly a choice, and it's certainly a well it's certainly a well. It's certainly I shouldn't say it's well anything. I don't think they made the right choice there, but it's interesting, and it's not like it's not inherently the ending they went with is not an inherently bad idea. It's just it doesn't work in the movie itself. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point, and most people have already probably clicked away. If you're still here, thank you for listening to my unhinged rambling, esteemed viewer. If you want to, get notified whenever I make a slightly more focused version of this, once I've had time to, probably rewatch the movie a couple times and really let it, simmer. Uh, let me know in the comments and whatnot. And subscribe. Oh, wait, no, let me know. Well, sure, you can let me know. I guess I was gonna say you should subscribe though. Subscribe, ring the bell, like, comment, all that stuff. All hail the algorithm. That's the only reason I feel the need to make this video so hasty and so soon. So, thank you for watching, esteemed viewers, and I'll see you in the next video.